Alright guys, so I am now working on these two pieces here. So these are actually going to go up here, and they're going to be the touching point to my wall. I'll be screwing through them to attach the cabinet to my van, the wall, the skeleton. So I just measured them, and then I got exact length. I would do it down here because these can be moved back and forth, like to get the exact measurement, just measure it through here instead of up there. And I sanded them down so they're all nice and smooth. Alright, I got it turned around, and I just glued this guy, and so I jigged these and I made sure they weren't gonna hit each other. Alright, I got them all screwed in. So down here I did make a sinking hole so I can put some wood glue over these and not have to see them. I did the same thing over here. And then we're gonna do the same thing we did for these, except just 2 holes instead of 3. To make sure it was even, I just measured how far down I want it and put a line. That's where it'll be. We'll make them go in so we can put some wood filler in so we don't see them. And then we'll also jig this one in and that one in. And then we'll do the same thing on that side. So it's coming together. I am wood gluing them before I screw them in. This is my jigging tool. I like it, it's pretty sick. Now we're gonna glue them. Make sure you wipe off all the sand dust off of them with just a wet rag so it has a clean contact point for the glue. They didn't go all the way straight through. These 2 screws didn't go through here. It's kind of on the back here, like half in, half out. I mean, it went through this. That's important. As long as it's through that, I think we're okay. These went perfectly. They went straight into this one, so. It's a little tedious, guys. And I try to get them as close as. It's just hard. It's hard. Or whatever. We're gonna do now the sides. Those up here. Fuck yeah. Alright, next thing to do is I do want to add shelving in there because I don't want it just to be one big open cabinet. It'd be kind of annoying. So let's go ahead and measure for some shelving. Oh yeah. It's pretty close. It's off by like 1/8 of an inch. Just need to be shaved down. My hair looks like crap. It's just sticking out a little too much, which is fine. We can fix that with the sander. It fits! Yay. I know again. Okay, let's make another one of these, and then we'll sand them both. And then we'll make some ledges, and we'll just glue the ledges on. Doesn't fit. I gotta cut out probably like 1/8 of an inch. All right, see if it fits. I just sanded it down. I put a line and sanded it down to the line. Not there yet. All right, the baby fits, but I think I still need to cut it. It's a little too, sticks out. So we're figuring out how much we need to cut off. Pretty perfect, so it doesn't stick out here or on the other end, on both sides. Now we need ledges for the bottom and the top part, so things don't hit the door and cause the door to open. So let's do that. So I did just cut my first little ledge here. It's 1/2 by 1/2. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut 3 more. 1 for this one for this one, and 1 for that one. All right, I think next we're gonna put these shelves in. You know what, to be honest, I don't think we're gonna do that because I still need to put wood filler in these center pockets, and I think if I put my little shelving up, I won't be able to get my sander in there. So I say we do some wood filling. All right, well, to do the wood filler and the glue, let's go ahead and wipe everything down with a wet cloth to get all the sand dust off of it for a clean, for it to be clean. Let's do that. This is where we're filling. Filling in these holes and these holes and these on both sides. All right, I just filled in all of the holes. Now let's go ahead and glue our edge pieces that we just cut today. And we'll clamp them down. I can't do the bottom one. I can't do that one. Because so I can't do this one because of this. So we could glue them to those, the ones we cut, my shelving, because those aren't gonna be interfered in any way. Lots of stuff, yeah. So I always use my finger to spread it to give it a good thing, and then after I put it on, I clamp it, and then I go ahead and use a wet washcloth to get the excess off around the edges, and then we'll leave it. Yeah, we'll leave that there overnight, and then I'll just add and do it for the other one. All right, guys, we're back at it. So our glue is all dry, and our wood filler is all dry. So we're gonna go ahead, I know I just turned her around. I had to cut off these little edges of these screws. They're sticking out a little bit, so I use my little grinder to do that. And now we're gonna move this outside, and we're gonna sand it, everything down, all the wood filler and stuff down. And yeah, and then we'll think about adding the shelves in now that sanding is done. All right, for this sanding, we are doing 80 grit to get all of the we're doing 80 grit first. get all the stuff down, and then 120 grit to make it soft and smooth. All right, so we got, couldn't do that one because it's under this, so we'll have to hand do that one. Okay, looks pretty good. Now I'm going to sand some of the edges because they're not all perfectly aligned, and what I mean by this is like this corner here is not flush. It's not too far up, it's not flush. Along with that one. Some other things like down here, here, just little modifications just to make sure everything is aligned when it gets on the wall. So we're gonna do that, and then we'll go back on it with a 120 grit to make it even more smooth. So there is one part that I don't like that I kind of screwed up, where there's these two screws hanging out. I think I'm gonna grab my grinder and cut them off. All right, I got it. It's not very pretty, but it'll do. All right, next is, let's get the shelving in on both sides. To get it the right angle, make sure it's straight. You can measure the top and the front. Not the top. The back and the front. See how far away it is from the floor. Also, you can use a right angle thing to make sure all the right angles on the walls. Now, I'm gonna screw through the wall, so like right through here to get through the wood. I'm also gonna glue it. I'm gonna glue it first and then screw through the wall. Make sure I don't miss it. I'll have to put some new lines, which is fine. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. We are gonna make the screws go into the board so I can put some more wood fill over them like I did with the last one, so we don't see the screws. Okay, I drew all my lines. You can see, so that's where my screws need to go, and I figured that out using measuring tool, and see where it ends here, and on the other side kind of bring the lines together, just examining it, make sure it's all straight. Next, I think, is to make holes. Yay. That one was good. Yay. Alright, I just finished screwing them in. We have a shelf. Okay, let's do the wood filler. Let that dry so I can sand them and do the shelf. Alright guys, so I finished the wood filler. I put it in all my holes here. Then I also hit the edges here in the front with just some cracks and stuff. You know, stuff I can fill in, make it look a little nicer and prettier and clean. So yep, there, and I put wood filler there, and I hit the wood filler with this corner right here too. So, alright, so I just sanded everything. So all of those are sanded down. I sanded these edges here. Sand. I did sand this edge here to get this really flush and clean. That's really smooth. Yeah, now let's go ahead and do the other side. shelf. Be same exact process of the first one. Here we go. Here we go. Second shelf done. Sick. Now we're gonna throw some wood fill over them so we can't see them. And then we'll be done for today. Yay.